Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, welcome to the
Afternoon.
open house of Division B, District 87. I am Gusti as the SAA, Surgeon at Arms, and giving some host of roles for our meeting today. The housekeeping rules. First, please mute when not speaking. Please turn on your video. And please actively participate and be present. And please also rename yourself. If you are a role taker, please naming your name as your role dash your name. Example, Tom Abdul Qayyum. If you're visiting Toastmasters, please give name like VTM dash Abdul Qayyum. Example. And the guests, please give the name guest dash your name. And that's all. Let's give me the control to our beloved Tom, Toastmaster Abdul Qayyum.
Good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Division B Open House season. And here, we all going to witness something that is a little bit different from other sort of Toastmasters meeting. And do you wonder why, or do you want to know why, or do you want to know what? There's a lot of questions being asked by the Tom, right? With that, my friends, once again, welcome. Now, let me check before we go further. Do we have someone from Maranatha tonight in the house, guys? Can I get some woohoo?
Woohoo!
All right, we have one. We have our members, Anna Meliana. We have Fajar being very supportive. Is there anybody from Cisanggarung Toastmasters Club? Cisanggarung Toastmasters Club. Anybody? Maybe
No,
we have
Cisanggarung.
from Ultimate Toastmasters Club. Ultimate Toastmasters Club. Anybody from Ultimate Toastmasters Club? This is making me sound like everybody in the room is a guest here today. So let me hear. Where do you guys checking in from? I can see the name Agi Sukma Wandani. Where do you from, Agi?
I'm from West Jakarta.
Are you a Toastmasters member?
Not yet.
All right. That is a fantastic news for me and everybody, the one who clapping their hand in the room. Because we are welcoming a lot of guests rather than, just inviting our member. We want to make today as big and happening to all the people in Indonesia. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I am your Toastmasters of the meeting. As the Toastmasters of the meeting, I will acting as the MCs of the day. From anywhere that you see in an event, maybe in a wedding ceremony, there will be an MC to ensure the flow of the event went smooth and do not go south. So here I am, your Toastmasters of the day. My name is Kayum. Previously, when I was born, it was given by my parents and remained still the same in the days now. And also, it might not be changing in the near future. So if we met in Bali in the close date, call me Kayum and I will answer your call. And I am here not alone. I am with the group of people who are dedicated to do their role accordingly. And these people are not usual people. They are amazing people. Now, first of all, I would like to call upon our general evaluator to introduce his role to all of us here today. Let me welcome distinguished Toastmaster Johan Setiawan. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmasters. Can everybody hear me, first of all? I need thumbs up. Excellent. Thank you. So a general evaluator is such a fun role because I get to evaluate everything and anything. But that's the thing about Toastmasters. Evaluation is not about criticism. It's basically to motivate or tell people how they could improve. Specifically in our daily life, we need to assist to help others to motivate them. And the hardest one is, can you actually evaluate your boss, your parents, your loved one, your family, and your friends? It is a tough job, but it is a test that we try to emphasize because this is a platform for you to practice. First of all, the duties will be at the end of the third or the fourth session in this meeting, which is the evaluation sessions. And I will introduce later on all the other roles. And I'd like to return the control back to our Mr. Toastmaster Quiet. Back to you, sir.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the General Evaluator, and that's the rule. So moving on into a little bit, what is Division B demographic all about? So Division B is an Indonesian club base where we have all in Jakarta. Correct me if I'm wrong, Toastmasters Ana. But at the end of our session here today, we will also have one-on-one sessions with all our friends who are interested to join Toastmasters or who want to know more about Division B. And to make it more hype, to make it more, friendly to all of our friends here, Division B itself have 14 clubs in itself, whereby it's come from Maranatha Toastmasters, Ultimate Toastmasters, we have Metropolitan Toastmasters, and we have Wardaya, LPS, we have Citanggaru, we have CCEP Toastmasters Club, and it comes with various things. And that said, ladies and gentlemen, come to the next role that we have here today, which is our grammarian. Let me welcome our grammarian for today, Fajar Martha, that come from Maranatha Toastmasters Club. Fajar, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Abdul, for introducing me. So today I will help as a grammarian. A grammarian is basically someone who take notice of our usage when we are speaking. Sometimes when we are speaking, we forget how to use the proper English grammar. It is okay when we are doing writing. We can read that and we can take notice of that. But speaking and speaking properly, it takes a habit, and we need to have a constant practice and a constant evaluation. So that's why that my job for today is to take note of the grammar usage and evaluate it later. And I will also take note some good usage of English for today. So hopefully we can copy that and learn more from that. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Grammarian. Now, it is not about the language itself, it's about the deeper meaning about the words itself that are being used here today. And now, moving on to our next role taker, let me call upon our counter for today, come all the way from Universitas Indonesia Toastmasters Club, Fikui Siami, as our counter. Fikui, the stage is yours.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Prayu. So, right. So, hello, fellow Toastmaster and guests. The purpose me currently will become your counter. My job is actually to note words and sound that used as a crutch or pause filter by anyone who speaks. During this meeting, I will try to listen for overused words, including that and well, but that's the kind of word that I will count on my report. And I will also listen for the filler word, including and I will not when all the speaker refers the word or the phrases, and such as like I, if you repeated those words, and also this mean, or example for anything that related for unnecessary word, I will count it. And at the end of the meeting, I will report the number of the time that each speaker used this expression. I think that's all for me. Thank you, Toastmaster Prayu.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, our counter, Toastmaster Fikui. With that, my friend, our counter is close to a singer, whereby we always repeated the same thing in singing. And that's what makes us remember the song by the lyrics, which come back again to our grammarian, the words that they use in the lyrics. So Who else in the Toastmasters close to something? This is one role that always close to the clock, and we call them Mr. Rolex, or if it's a woman, Mrs. or Madam Rolex. Because why? They will be closely looks to the timer for today. Let me welcome our timer for today, Nurani Mustika Dewi, that coming all the way from Maranatha Toastmasters Club to introduce her role. Rani, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kayum. Wow, it sounds so expensive if someone called me Madam Rolex. Yeah, so good. And what is usually do? I give to speaker. They have because it is for a not to start speech, but and control speech. So there will be some session in this meeting. And I will give the timing signal based on the time limit speaker have. So for the educational speaker session, the educational speaker will have 25 to 30 minutes to deliver his speech. So I will change my background into green at 25 minutes, into yellow at 27 and 30-second minute, and into red at 30 seconds. And after the educational speech, there will be a Q&A session for 10 to 15 minutes. Later, after the educational speech session, we will have a prepared speech session. And the speaker will have 5 to 7 minutes to deliver their speech. And the prepared speech speaker will be evaluated by an evaluator who will deliver their evaluation for 2 to 3 minutes. And lastly, for the impromptu session or the table topic session where everyone can join, not only the Toastmaster members, but also our distinguished guest here, the topic speaker will have 2 minutes today. So I will change brown into yellow 30 seconds and in minutes. Each table topic then later evaluated table topic that also have to deliver evaluation minutes and 2 minutes. Well, I think that the introduction of to you, Tom.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Madam Rolex, for your explanation. A little bit query or point of information on my side that you a little bit lag and might need to check the internet connection for a while before we started deeper into the meeting. Now with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come from various places. Karen and I come from Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. Ellen Ang come from Brunei. Fajar Martha, Tisiningsi, and Gusti Tias, Miranda Rumi come from Indonesia. And that's come one problem. We couldn't choose our leader because why? We have a different nation. We come from different various places. But what can we do? We can choose the best speaker for today's session. With that, let me welcome our ballot counter, Toastmaster Gusti Tias, come from fantastic Toastmasters Club to introduce his role. Gusti, over to you.
Yeah, please give a round of applause to our beloved Tom, Professor Kayu. Very, very fantastic and energetic spirit there. Okay, for Toastmasters, I'm Gusti. I am the ballot counter. So basically, every session, we have like voting. So you can vote and give the vote to me, and I can send the link and report of the winner at the end of the session. That's all. Back to you, Tom, Toastmaster Abdul Qayyum.
You are welcome. Now, my friends, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and honorable guests, that is the team that will be on act for today. They will take part on the meeting. They will do some report. They will help you to assist you on picking up the best winner and mention about your time and more to come later when the session is, on. So with that, fellow Toastmasters, you maybe wonder, who is the leader? Look like, is it Kayum because Kayum wear a coat? Is it Alan because Alan also wear a coat? Or is it Fikui because Fikui is behind the screen? Ladies and gentlemen, please give your hands together to our Division B Director, Division B Director, Anna Meliana, to give her opening remark. With that, Anna, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Master Tom, Toastmaster Abdul Qayyum, or I usually call him just Qayyum. Good afternoon, everyone, my fellow Toastmasters and distinguished Toastmasters, also all guests who now maybe in your mind is wondering, what is Toastmasters? What is the relationship between Toastmasters and Jiwa Toast or any kind of toast? So here to answer you, I will try to explain just slightly about Toastmaster. So ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters is actually a non-profit organization. But for me and maybe for us, the member of Toastmasters here, this is not only an organization, but also a family and a community. So what kind of community do we have here? This is a place for us to learn. So the basic is about learning about public speaking, learning about leadership, learning about English if you are also eager to learn and improve your English. Maybe you have tried to learn English in some other place as I did. But here in Toastmaster, we are not kind like teacher and student relationship, but we learn from each other. And the most important thing is this is a very good place for us to practice. I believe the most thing you have to do to grow your skills is a lot of practice, right? So this is a very good place for practice. Why? Because we have a lot of chance to practice like we all do now doing this open house. We practice our English, we practice our skill in speaking, we practice our skill in organizing an event and everything. We practice our skills in networking as well. And when you make mistakes, that is the chance you are knowing better of yourself and you can grow from there. This is a very safe place for you to learn, make mistakes, and also grow from there. The organization itself, founded by Mr. Smedley in 1924. Around the world, Toastmasters have more than 300,000 members in almost 150 countries with that many of clubs. So that is the number of clubs you can visit anytime for you to practice and to learn and to grow once you are joined as member. And this is the mapping of our organization structure. And then what they say, this is the testimonial of our members. After they join Toastmaster, maybe for 6 months, a year, or maybe 10 years, they gain communication and leadership skills. And of course, this impacts not only our private life, but also our professional life because we are fun, supportive, this community is. And a lot of people saying things about this community. Usually, the regular meeting, we have meetings. Some clubs have every week, some clubs have every 2 weeks. And you all know in our meeting, we have a lot of role takers. So you are not only practice, but you also have someone who listen carefully to you and give you feedback in a positive way to improve you, to build you, to make you grow. So here is what member can get. You can get pathways, you will get a mentor, and of course, network. As Kayum already said, even in this room, we have someone from Brunei, from Malaysia, from Indonesia, and all over Indonesia, which different city. We have 11 pathways for you to choose if you want to focus your skill, grow in the motivational thing, or leadership, or maybe relationship, or you try to learn how to be more persuasive. You can choose from these pathways and you can focus your project and practice skills in these pathways. Right, so improve your skills, achieve your goals, be successful and happy, break the barriers, not your budgets. Maybe you ask also to yourself, so how much I have to invest if I join this community of Toastmasters? This is the fee you have to pay if you compare this investment, this amount of investment to investment you need to make if you join in other institution. I think it is very worth and you gain a lot more with this small investment. So welcome and please enjoy the meeting. If you still have a lot of questions in your mind, please feel free to ask any of us with the role in front of our name. You can ask Kayum, you can ask me, you can ask Nurani, and everyone. We also will have a breakout room after this meeting if you still need to question a lot of things. Back to you, Master Tom, Kayum.
Thank you very much, Division B Director Anna Melia. Now, my friend, you get to know who is the leader behind the scene of Division B establishment. It's a woman, a strong woman, working in the pharmacist industries, and someone who loves to travel a lot. And she said to me, Kayum, whenever I see red wine, I will buy it. It's just the matter that I can't bring it with you, Anna. If I could, I would. And with that, my friend, we will come into more fun businesses, more happy businesses. Before that, let me introduce our next sessions to everyone and our speaker. So most of us know him as Distinguished Toastmasters Alan Ang. A distinguished Toastmaster, or I would call it as a dangerous talking machine. When he speaks, it means something, right? And with that, Alan Ang is someone that locally, born and raised in Brunei. Born and raised in Brunei, custom made, I would say, and works with a goal to conceptualize, design, and deliver coachings that empower, training that for grace, and keynote states inspire. He helps his client to develop their talents, skill, and energy in a resourceful and meaningful way. He has spent the last 15 years of his life pursuing progressions to be a better person. Alan believes hard work matters and that there is always room for improvement in every situation. And Alan is currently functioning as the Happy People's principal consultant and trainer, and is a certified behavioral and career consultant. At Happy People, we firmly believe that people are the core of any organization. And it is the part of our mission to help the organizations empower their people to foster better communications and enhance their soft skills. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, get your mini love, your virtual clap, your virtual mini love in the chat box, in your reaction button. Let us welcome Distinguished Toastmaster Alan Ang. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Kayu. Good afternoon to everyone. Just a quick check if you could hear me and you can see me clearly. Can you just type in OK in the chat so that I know that I'm very visible and I am also very, very audible to all of you. And for those of you who are a little bit shy that you are keeping your video off, I would strongly like to encourage and invite you to turn on the video because it's always easier to speak to boxes with moving profile picture rather than just names on it as well. Today, I would have about 30 to 45 minutes with all of you. My main intention is to share with you some tips on how to be able to speak with more eloquence and most important of all, able to keep the audience engaged. This is closely related to one of the roles that we actually conduct in a Toastmasters setting. So in order for that to be fruitful, you would be able to ask questions throughout the whole sessions. At any point in time, if I were to say something that is of interest, you could raise your hand or just type the question into the chat. I will make sure I write it down and I would attend to your questions immediately. And if I can't, I will leave it towards the end and I will make sure I answer the questions before the end of the session. I have a tendency to speak very fast, especially when I get very excited. So if suddenly I turn on my Gatling gun mode, please remember to slow me down. All right. Yeah, I can see a few more faces popping up on the screen. And the rest, I'll just assume that you will take some time to warm up and hopefully I'll be able to see more of your faces in the next half an hour or so. The title of the sharing or the learning sessions today is about speaking with eloquence and keeping audience engaged. So I would like to first throw the question to you all and feel free to just type in the chat. Number one, why is it important to you personally to be able to keep your audience engaged? Let me repeat, why is it important to you personally to keep your audience engaged? Have a quick thought about it and type your answer into the chat so that we all can learn from each other. And while you're doing that, just to give a heads up to everyone, if you're wondering, is it my screen that has an issue that I can't see any slides? Nope, there's nothing wrong with your screen. This session is purely you looking at me and me looking at you. That's why turning on the video is such an important task. Otherwise, it will be me looking at 10 empty black boxes. All right. Okay, we can see some answers coming in from Elias. Attention is the best currency for speakers to make sure that the message are delivered so that people can hear you, to make sure that the audience get the key takeaway. They are about 24 of us in the room right now. I'm pretty sure we can do better than this. Why is it important for you personally to engage with your audience? And when I refer to audience, it does not necessarily mean public speaking. Yeah? It could also be you talking or you having a conversation with your colleagues, with your family members, parents, children in your everyday life. Why is it important to stay engaged? For those of you who are married like myself, as a husband, we want to make sure that we stay engaged. It's because we never know when our wife will test us, right? What did I just say? And you couldn't remember. Or it could be you going on and on and on, and she'll be looking at you. What did you mean? Karen, to make sure audience get your message, building trust. All right. To build a connection. Hey, great. From Aslina, Elias generating feedback. So you can see there are a lot of various reasons why people believe staying engaged is very important. For me personally, the reason why we wanted to stay engaged is that so that we become more effective with our time. That's it. And this is something that I felt we do not emphasize enough in our everyday life. We always assume that people who engage with us or people who we talk to have all day to listen to us. We assume that when we ask them for 10 minutes of their time, we can at our own liberty to extend it to 15-20 minutes. Therefore, making sure that we keep our audience engaged, personally for me, is a show of respect to people that we are engaging with and people that we are talking to, because we only all have 24 hours. And that is the only one thing that is very equal to every single one of us here. So if you understand where I'm coming from, just type in the letter R in the chat so that you understand why I want to focus on keeping our audience engaged, is because out of respect to everybody's time. Now, we all want to be able to engage with our audience, and we all want to speak with eloquence. We want to sound good. We want to be melodious with our voice or be right with the choice of words. However, we face challenges towards that. But my second question to all of you is, what are the challenges that you are personally facing right now that stops you from engaging with your audience? Let me repeat, what are the challenges that you are facing right now that stops you from engaging with your audience? You can just type in the chat, or if you feel like you want to give it a try to share, feel free to unmute yourself and just share with us. Anna, no response from audience. Exactly, that's how I feel right now. Like no response from the audience. I ask them, please turn on your video. Some of them choose to ignore me. You read my mind. Debbie, nervous, stuck in idea. Okay, stuck in idea. Debbie, would you be able to elaborate on stuck on your idea? Can you share a little bit more on that?
Yes, Alan, when we speak or we deliver something, we want to deliver a message, but when suddenly you don't know how to explain it in the good way or in the easiest way, and then you got stuck and I don't know how to say it. It's just like a blank in your brain.
And when that happens, what would you do?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to remember what is, and I try to make up something like that, but it's still connected with the topic that I'm going to say.
Okay, great. Thank you for sharing. Everybody type in D for Debbie. Thank you for sharing all your challenges that you are facing. Okay, who do we have early on? Let's see. Okay. Okay, non-responsive audience, lack of interest, self-doubt, platform limitations, lack of time, lack of resource, lack of clarity. Wow, Elias, you're lacking a lot of things, huh? Karen, sharing my own ideas without knowing what actually audience need. Karen, could you elaborate a little bit more on that, please? Karen, you might want to get closer to the mic because your voice is quite far. Very weak, very weak. Still quite soft. No worries. You can try, and if you can you try to speak louder a little bit and see whether that would improve? A little bit better. So you can go ahead. I would make sure I can hear you clearly.
All right. So what I need is maybe communication with other people and encourage what our audience like to hear, but just talk about our own idea. So we cannot get audience engaged because that's not our audience wants to hear.
Okay, I hear you. So let me repeat. Let me know if I got it correct. What you meant was it could be challenging when you are unsure of what you share is what the audience is looking for.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. All right. So that is Karen. Thank you. And then we have Elias, and then I lack of everything that Toastmasters. Okay. So the challenges that most of us face are usually similar. It's either we don't know what we wanted to talk about, we are unsure what would be the interest of the audience. This could be sorted out through proper planning or a technical audience analysis. It's something that I can talk about on the other time, but I'm not going to focus on it today. However, you can write it down. It's called audience analysis. Audience analysis is a process where you actually sit and visualize who would be in your crowd, and you kind of predetermine what are their demographics and why the topic that you want to talk about matters to them. So it's a lot of brainstorming, and it's actually one of the more important steps when it comes to preparing for presentations or even writing up your speeches. So I'll talk a little bit about that in other sessions. Assuming that you have done a proper audience analysis and you have created a presentation or a speech that you believe would be of interest to your audience, we will still be facing challenges when it comes to delivery because we don't know how to keep them engaged. And one of the common challenges is that we do not know what we have to speak next, or we know what we need to speak next, but we can't spell out the exact words. In short, everything sounds good and awesome in your mind, but when it is in real life, it doesn't flow as well. Okay, I can see that Azlina is nodding, Patrick is nodding their head as well, right? Everything sounds good. If I were to sit right now and I don't speak and I just look at all of you, in my head, I will visualize this is the best workshop ever in my life. And everybody will be cheering, everybody would be clapping, and everybody would be saying things as, wow, it was amazing, we learned something. But the fact is, the moment I started speaking, I am lost for words. And I would see some of you frowning, some of you are wondering, I'm trying to lean closer to the screen, and that distracted myself a little bit. So when that happened, it is very normal for us to come up with new words or to put in words that has never been even heard of before. And we call those fillers. And that itself would further pull us apart from our audience. Okay, let me repeat. When you are lost for words, we have an automatic response, which is to fight or flight. That allows us, or that enables us to, Alan, just think of something, just say something. Anything also can, right? Do not have that awkward moment of silence. And hence, those are called fillers. So today, specifically, what I want to talk about is why fillers are not good for our presentation. What are the different types of fillers that we're facing? And how could we overcome it in a very practical way? So I won't be talking a lot about theories, but I want to share with you practical methods that you can use so that immediately, right after this workshop, you could see improvement in how you converse. So far, so good, everyone. If you're following me and you understand where I'm coming from, you can just type in number 2 in the chat so that I know that you are following me. Okay. Earlier on, when we have our Tom introducing all the roles, right, there is a specific role which is known as the R counter. And whoever is familiar with Toastmasters would know of this role. But for guests or some of our friends who may be not so familiar, what are fillers? It is actually words or sounds that we put in so that we are able to keep our thoughts ongoing. So I would like to introduce to you 3 main types of distraction or 3 key types of fillers. If you go online or you go ChatGPT or you go anywhere, they'll tell you 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a lot, okay? But I always sum it into 3 because I think you can't get far away from this 3. Number 1 is called verbal fillers. Okay, I'll type in the chat just in case if you need it. It's called verbal fillers. What it means is it is any words that you know of or you may not even know of. You just utter it so that you don't have an awkward moment of silence. Very commonly used verbal fillers, such as, you know, well, when people ask you certain things like, you know, yeah, it was just like this, you know. So you know is a verbal fillers. And verbal fillers have cousins as well, which sometimes we use for transition, which is like what I just used, which is so, anyway, anyhow. Okay, so these are also verbal fillers. Lately, I found out another extended families of verbal fillers. These are expressions, and how or who taught me this was actually my daughter. She is 9 years old. And I usually have very interesting conversations with her. I'll ask her things like, Angela, what do you think? She will go, I'm not sure, Daddy, you know. I was like, okay, that's one filler. And when I say certain things, she will go, oh my God, that's so amazing, Daddy. Wow. All of this are actually what we call fillers. Okay, expressions that used to emphasize on certain things. You are excited, but you do not know what are the other synonyms for excitement. So you go, oh my God, right? You always go, oh my God. Why is it has to be, oh my God? It's because it's it's just so natural. Okay. Now, imagine you have a lot more words. Instead of just, oh my God, you could have said something like, that was amazing. I'm amazed. You know, I was so excited. That was brilliant. This would have been a better option than, oh my God. Okay, so any words that you use to fill up the gap is known as verbal fillers. Okay, so far so good, everyone. If you understand, you can just type in V. Okay, verbal fillers. Verbal fillers also extend to a lot of lingo that is quite, how would I say, trendy. My daughter will come to and say, Daddy, LOL. I was like, huh? Why would you say lol? And she would tell me, Daddy, wow, that was so funny. ROFL. You know, you could have said something. Why it's called rolling on floor laughing? Okay, ROFL. If those of you who don't understand, it means you roll on the floor and you're laughing. It's just an expression. Because she learned all of this from millennials, right? From all her friends. These are called verbal fillers. If you notice earlier on, I would also use the word such as right. It's a verbal fillers because I couldn't stop. I couldn't help myself just to find one word to fill that in. What I'm also trying to demonstrate to you is that we are not trying to eliminate all these verbal fillers, but we want to be able to have better awareness of it. So if you were to use it, you don't feel ashamed by it, but instead you try and find ways to minimize it. Okay, so that's number one, verbal fillers. Number two is what we call a non-verbal fillers. And non-verbal fillers, a very common non-verbal fillers are sounds such as like this, or you can hear smacking of lips. Right? When people say something, you go, or you go on. And it's quite distracting, right? Imagine you're delivering such an important proposal and your colleague is just sitting right in front of you, not saying anything, but producing sound such as if using the gap, or even you as a presenter, right? You can't find of certain words to say. You know, you always smack your lips. And these are what we call non-verbal fillers. And it's very hard to stop it, especially when you are so used to it. You can't go, stop doing that. You can't, because it's quite distracting as well. So you could just only be aware of it and try to minimize it. Okay, so the second one is called non-verbal fillers. They are primarily sounds that you use to put it in. Third is what we call repetitive. Repetitive fillers could be sound or it could be verbal. But what is so distinct about repetitive fillers is our tendency to repeat the last word that we say. For example, when you tell people, so everything okay? Okay, right? You try to fill up that awkward moment. You understand me? Yes, right? You understand what I'm trying to say. You could have just kept your mouth shut and wait for a response, but you couldn't do so. So you will kind of repeat what you just said. What I've shared with you are 3 common categories of filler. Again, like I said, there are many other fillers based on how the presenters look at it. But for me, I would just categorize them as 3: verbal, non-verbal, and repetitive. Just these 3. Oh, good, everyone. If you understand, can you just type in number 5? Give me a high five in the chat so that I know that you follow me. Okay. Now we understand the importance of keeping audience engaged. We acknowledge the challenges that we commonly face in order to keep audience engaged, and we kind of filtered it down to fillers. We spoke earlier on about 3 different types of fillers: the verbal, non-verbal, and repetitive. Next, what I would like to talk about is how then can we practically overcome this challenge? There is no shortcut to this, yeah? There's no shortcut to becoming better at reducing or minimizing your fillers. If you are under the impression that after the workshop, your fillers would go from 10 to 0, then it is not a realistic expectation. But what I would like to help you is to find ways for you to improve on it. So 3 things. Number 1 is actually writing. Writing has nothing to do with your thought process. Okay, let me repeat. Writing helps you to improve thought process. A quick show of hand. How many of you would actually write down, not speeches, we're not just talking about Toastmasters, you would write down scripts or write down pointers of everything that you need to speak of even for presentations or keynote, or even when you're having a conversation. How many of you have the tendency to always have a pen and paper beside you? Yeah, I see quite a few hands. Okay, good. Great. Now, it helps. Actually, I have my pen and paper right beside me as well. It's because this is something that I continuously try to be aware of. One of the words that I've written here was, I think this, who spoke early on? Debbie, right? Don't know. I tried to make up something like that. I think that was the comment from Debbie, and I wrote down word for word. Why? It's because the moment you start writing, it helps you to better structure your sentences. And when you write, it helps you to improve on your vocabulary as well. Writing is a very good process to help to reduce unnecessary words. So yesterday, 2 days ago, I was being tasked to write a proposal for a client. And time given to me was very limited. So what did I do? Number 1, log into ChatGPT and ask for their help. I'm serious. I actually asked them. I actually typed into ChatGPT, how do I write a proposal on having intention? So they gave me all the notes. Copy and paste the whole thing. Number 2, start deleting words that does not have meaning to it. You know how they like to extend sentences, right? Start deleting all those and comma and make it into short sentences. I don't have like a very specific word count, but if I can share with you what I write, most of my sentences are less than 10 words or 9 words every sentences. It's because I don't believe in long sentences. it would not help people to pay attention or stay engaged with you. So ChatGPT. Number 2, reduce all those words. Last but not least, I use something called Grammarly. English is not my first language. Okay, I can't tell you that I'm good with English. I'm not. But consistently, when you have someone to give you inspiration, you try to improve on other people's writing, and you try to get better in the grammar. The process or the conscious act on this helps you to be better in cutting down meaningless words. And those are mostly fillers. So far, so good, everyone? Okay, writing. I'm not someone who loves to write. I love to speak. And my friend taught me to open up my Microsoft Words and just fire up dictation, enable dictation, so that when you speak, they help you to write down all the words and then you can edit on it. And it helps. Why? Because when you're able to look at your subtitle, you improve on that. Another very practical way on how you can improve through writing is, how many of you have heard of this app called, suddenly it slipped my mind. I have it on my phone right now. It's called CapCut. I'll just type it in. Okay, it's something that all of you should enjoy. It's called CapCut. It is a video editing app. So what I usually do is, on a day-to-day basis, not every day, but probably 3 times in a week, I would do that. I would record myself in a selfie mode on any topic. So today I have some thoughts. I would like to talk about overcoming fear of public speaking. So I just go on and on. I just speak for 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. Once I'm done with it, I save the video, open up CapCut, import the video into CapCut, and there is a function that allows you to insert caption. Automatically, it will run subtitle for you, and it will show you, would you like us to help you to remove your filler? Because when you have an awkward sound, they will automatically highlight those as filler for you. Then what I do is I spend the next 15 minutes looking at the subtitle of what I've just shared, and I try to edit on it. So it's like writing. So I'm editing on what I just said. And over time, my sentences get shorter and shorter. It gets more precise. So far, so good, everyone? Okay, if you're following me, okay, you're following me, just type C, so I know that you are following me. C for CapCut. It's a very useful tool. And you might fall in love with it, because after a few times of running it, right, you might end up sharing those videos on your IG. You know, you're sharing a lot of thoughts, right? People look at you, you have some likes, you get more encouragement, and then you will not be as scared as previously already. Okay, so that's number 1, writing. Number two is actually reading. Again, very basic. You can look at me and say, Alan, another basic thing? Yes, it is. I am someone who loves to buy books. In fact, I was traveling to Kuala Lumpur about 2 weeks ago, and I brought back 4 books. I love to go shopping at bookshops, and I love buying books. Not because I love to read them. It's just that I have a belief that when I buy book, I become smarter. So I would just buy and keep it on my bookshelf. And I would have easily about 70 to 80 books, which most likely I would have completed less than 2 books. So who are those books for? For my colleagues. I would always tell my team and say, guys, it is very important to make sure that you have knowledge. So read all these books. And what do you do after you read all those books? Please come up with a 15 minutes presentation, and I'll sit in the presentation and listen to you. That's how I learn. So I buy book, I ask them to read, and then they present, and I learn from the presentation. Now, why is this helpful for me? Because sometimes they will write proposal and they'll ask me to proofread it. Again, I'm not an excellent writer. I'm not a best person to proofread, but I enjoy reading because when I read all the sentences, I go very basic. Number 1, does every sentence, do they have a lot of long sentences? If yes, try and cut them down. always make it into short sentences. And I ask myself, is this really necessary? Do we really need this? You know, does this add any additional meaning? Does this give value added to what they wanted to share? If not, remove everything. So when you read, it allows you to, you know, speak or dictate mentally, right? Sometimes you have a tendency to read and then we read out loud. And then there's one way for you to practice as well. Okay, so that's way number 2, to be able to improve on, you know, having better awareness and minimizing on your fillers. All right, so everyone, if you understand this part, can you type in R for reading? I'm not someone who enjoy watching movies in language that I don't understand. For example, Korean drama. Like my wife loves it. But when I watch Korean drama, I don't understand a thing. But what I do enjoy when I watch Korean drama is I would always turn on the subtitle. I will always turn on the subtitle. And why is it important? Is because when I turn on the subtitle, I'm actively reading while listening to someone talking. And it allows me to pick up new vocabularies. It allows me to understand how to structure sentences in such a way that it's engaged people and it does not go repetitive. It does not have all those fillers. Okay, so number 1 is on writing. Number 2 is on reading. Last but not least, which is to me the most important of all these 3. Okay, I will need help to okay. So writing, reading. Last is actually learning how to keep our mouth shut and be comfortable with it. It's called silence. It is absolutely very hard to do so. How many of you here are parents? You can raise your hand so that I know that your kids are like parents. Okay, good. You have the best practice partner. What I want you to do is, the moment your children go on a ranting mode and they go, Daddy, Daddy, Mommy, I want to share with you on this and that, all I want you to do is maintain eye contact and stay silent for as long as you can. And it's very hard because you will have the urge to try to say something. Or maybe just give out some sound of, yeah, those are fillers, stop. Just actively remind yourself, stay quiet and just listen. Whether it is through Zoom, when I mean Zoom, it means virtual presentation, or whether it's in-person presentation, the biggest culprit of us inserting or having more fillers is always our mind trying to trick us into how time flies very fast. You stood on the stage or you are speaking, and the moment you are lost for words, it could only just be a brief 2 seconds, but your mind tells you that's eternity. It has been 1 minute since you last spoke. So Alan, say something, anything. So what do? You went, so you can be very, very comfortable with that moment of silence. And in fact, I also know that great salespeople are the one that is very skillful in maintaining silence. I have been on sales call for quite a number of times, and I noticed that every single time they try to ask you for a yes answer, they probably ask along the line of, so would you like to pay by cash or credit card? And they go on a long moment of silence. You think you would win this war. Trust me, you would not. Because one of you, most likely you, would utter some sound of, I'm not so sure. And when you break that moment of silence, you submit control. Okay, so you got to be very, very comfortable with that. It doesn't come overnight. Just this morning, I was coming back from Malaysia, from Miri. I was having breakfast with my kid. and my son was running around. So I gave him that death stare, right? You don't say anything, you just look, just maintain eye contact. And Anson just went silent. And 1 minute later, he was crying. And I haven't even said a single word. And my wife was accusing me of child abuse. I told her, no, that's not child abuse. I said, I was trying to practice for my workshop this afternoon. Now, to sum it up, I've shared with you 3 things, right? Writing, reading, and silence. And this is something that worked for me, okay? Would it work for you? I don't know. You're going to find ways for that. Like I said, from the beginning of this particular sharing session or this learning sessions, right? We all know that fillers are meaningless and sometimes it distracts our audience, but we are not too sure of how to overcome it. And I don't think there is one size fits all solution, or there is a miracle pill that you'll be able to take it and immediately all those fillers will be gone. After all, this is a language that we're talking about. And the only way that I know of to improve on a language is unless you consistently write, read, speak on it, you won't be able to improve on it. So my tip to you, or even my, I wouldn't say suggestions, but at least what worked for me over the last few years was writing, reading, and appreciating that moment of silence. And I hope this 3 simple practical technique can help you to take a step forward, even if it's just a baby step, on how you could be a better communicator by reducing all those distractions so that you can stay engaged with your audience. And once you're able to do that, it's almost automatic that your audience would find you charismatic, and they will find you quite convincing, and they will find you quite eloquent with words. It's not because you have a lot of big words. Okay, trust me, big words can wow people temporarily, but they cannot keep the attention, they cannot keep them engaged for 1 hour. The only way to stay engaged with your audience is unless you're speaking at their level, not them listening to your level. Okay, so the simpler words that you use and the clearer that you're able to pass your message across, you become more effective. And that's it. That's the whole thing that I want to share with all of you. All right, so we talk about importance of staying engaged with our audience. We identify personal challenges. Most of us are trying to find words. We identify that there are 3 different types of distraction, or what we call fillers: verbal, non-verbal, and repetitive. We speak a little bit about practical tips on ways on how to overcome it. It's through writing, reading, and appreciating that moment of silence. So before I end the sessions, I would like to open up for questions, comments, or even feedback. And looking at the timer, we have about 7 minutes. That would be quite good for about 3 questions. Anyone would like to start? You can type the questions if you're shy, or if you're not, you can always unmute yourself and share your thoughts. Yes, we have one. Debbie.
Well, I'm curious about inserting a humorous sentence or quotes or something in our speech, and but no response from the audience. How do we handle those situations?
Thank you. I like that question very much. So Debbie's question is, I try to be funny, but nobody finds me funny. What should I do? Okay. I joined Toastmasters in 2013. In 2014, I first joined my humor speech contest. And of course, to no surprise, I wasn't that funny. I thought I was funny, but I wasn't. So I decided to improve on my chances of winning humor speech. What I did was 2 things. Number 1, I ran for the post of president. And you might be wondering why. It's because I wanted to have an opportunity where I would have audience that they would be forced to listen to me. Because in my club, the president gets to give a closing remark. So they have no choice, right? They have to listen to me. So I found myself an audience. And number 3, every week for the 1 year, so 52 weeks, I tell myself, Alan, if you were to give a closing remark, and since they have no choice but to listen to you, make sure you tell a joke every single session. So I started from there. Okay. It gets very awkward. But there are weeks where people just look at me and they wonder, what I was trying to do. There were days when I asked myself, what was I trying to achieve? That I questioned my purpose and intention in life as well. There were days when it went well. So, Debbie, I don't think there is one way of becoming better or being able to put in good punchline or punch word, except a lot of trial and error. And you know what's the hardest thing? Is that when you deliver a joke and nobody laughs, you just have to pretend that it was never meant to be a joke. So you move on. And if you never intend it to be a joke and people are laughing at it, you must act as if you design it. And that's it. It works. It works. So now, even till today, I still practice doing that at my workplace. If you have any opportunity when you come to Brunei, or hopefully one day my team will be able to travel with me to other places for training, you can ask them. One of the things that they have to live with working with me is every other day, not every other day, almost every day, I would tell a very lame joke. And I'll always test their patience. If they don't laugh, I will just continue on and on and on until they laugh at one joke every day. And it's not just with my peers and colleagues at work, my daughter as well. My daughter has learned the art of rolling her eyes when she doesn't find me funny. And these are all true stories. So Debbie, I hope that would inspire you to keep trying. Remember, if you plan it to be a humor and nobody laughs, you must pretend that it was never meant to be. And however, if you never intend to be funny and people are laughing at it, you must act as if you design it. Okay? That's a trick that you should hold on to. Okay? So thank you, Debbie, for your question. Let's have 2 more questions. Let's see. Oh, okay, in the group chat. Okay. Chat. Okay. How can you handle distraction or disruption during speaking to maintain your audience attention? Okay. How do you handle distraction? Okay, so now it is not you distracting your audience, but your audience kind of distract you. In Pathway, I think it's in Pathway, there is a very interesting project called Managing Difficult Audience. I strongly encourage all of you to pick up that project if you can. If you don't have time for that, I can give you a summary of it. Number 1 is, you will never be able to find a room full of audience that 100% of them like you as a speaker or appreciate you as a speaker. So don't ever look for that. Number 2, if somehow someone distract you from the audience, always give them the attention. Ask them, hey, I noticed that you were frowning when I was talking about this. I would like to hear your opinion about it. Address them. Okay. Address them first. Do not try and avoid them. Address them. Talk to them. Maybe you will realize that they have something nice or they have a good input. Okay. 3rd, if they continue to stay disruptive, you have to ask yourself, why would they have that courage to not pay attention to you? Is it because right from the beginning, you have not set the ground rules? Or is it because you, when you're delivering your presentations, you take it too, you don't take it seriously enough that people do not respect you as a presenter as well. So it's important to have an inward reflection too. For me, it's always about inward reflection. So for your questions, right, Elias, when you find that people are distracting you, always look at yourself first and then check on the audience. So these are the 2 things. Okay? Reflect on yourself and then check on the audience. And remember the audience analysis that I've shared with you right from the beginning. That will be a good practice before you design or before you prepare for your next presentation. What I've realized over the years is also that sometimes it is us ourselves, or maybe we did not communicate well with our organizing team, that they invite the wrong audience to your presentation. you prepared a presentation on financial statement, and then you invite a group of marketers. It doesn't work. Okay. Next, Anna, you may deliver your questions. Oh, okay, your questions. Okay, great. Gatot, would you like to share your worst experience in handling audience attention and what? Okay, I can share it with you. But before I share that, I reached my 45 minutes mark. Can I get your agreement that I can extend by another 5 minutes to make sure that I cover all this question? Is it okay, everyone?
Maybe 2 more questions from Gatot and guest Wina.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen.
Yes, Gatot, I have that. It was 3 months ago. So 3 months ago, I was conducting a training on leadership. It's a very abstract topic. And my audience are, they are not entry-level officers. These are government officers who are at a assistant director level. So it was a 2 days training. First half an hour, of course, we are sharing on the definitions of leadership. And immediately he raised his hand and said, Alan, I disagree with you. I don't think that is the right definitions of leadership. And this is why I think so. And this is why I disagree with you. So he went on and shared a lot of things. So it was very difficult because that was one of my first training for higher levels of civil servants. And I really wanted to do well on that. What happened was, it was not a disagreement on my definition. It's more of he wants to be heard as well. So I've actually gave him the limelight, the spotlight, to really share his thought. So he went for about 10-15 minutes. By the first break, the first day noon time, so that was 3 hours later, and I asked them, so everyone, we are done with the first day morning sessions. Anyone who have any questions? And he raised his hand and said this, Alan, I just want to be honest with you. The first half an hour, I really disagree with what you say. And I would have easily have just shut my ears off. But I really appreciate how open you are, that you allow me to share, and we're able to bounce ideas and come to an agreement. So you know what? I'll start listening to you and pay more attention starting from the afternoon session onwards. So this really happened. So I thought, I hope that it gave you some insights about why it is important to address or to, I wouldn't say confront, but do not run away from difficult audience. Because the more you try to take away the attention from them, the more they want your attention. And eventually, it is not just only your attention, they would have the attention of the whole room. Right? And then we have one question from our guest, Wina. How do you respond or continue your speech if the audience gives you a negative signal? Okay, I don't know what a negative signal would mean. So let me see. I don't have anyone booing me so far. I don't have anyone throwing bananas at me yet. Let me think of a negative signal. Let's say body language, right? They become uncomfortable. They become impatient. Again, it goes back to the same thing. Inward reflection first. Have I been talking for too long that I have not given them a chance to speak? Because sometimes as a presenter, we like to speak and we don't like to stop. And you may go on and on for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35 minutes, and they have just been sitting there for hours listening to you. So maybe it is because of that. But my usual go-to is always address it. Like someone is frowning. Oh, I noticed that when I was sharing on this point, it seems like you have a different perspective. Would you like to share? I noticed that you were like nodding your head, or you were like disagreeing with my point of view. May I know why? Always ask them. Because as a presenter, again, one of the things that I learned over the years is if you always look down on your audience and you think that you are the best presenter or you're the smartest person in this room, you have definitely made a fool out of yourself. Okay, you are not the most knowledgeable person. Even if you can be, it doesn't matter if your audience don't think you are. A learning session is part of communication. It always has to be two-way. So you sharing some ideas, at the same time, you're learning things from your participants as well. So don't be too arrogant, be a little bit more open-minded, and encourage two-way communication. even if you are the presenter or you are the speaker. Right. So I hope that helps answer the question. I'm teaching pre-U students. I get on students to listen to me if they ask any questions. I wonder how can I improve my students' engagement? Okay. And students' engagement, number one, okay. Quick way is when you're preparing for your presentation or preparing for your learning materials, ensure that you cater into all sorts of learners. What I meant by that is you must ensure that you cater to people who learns through audio, who learns through visual, and learns through kinesthetic, who learns through doing activities, right? Hence, when I speak earlier on, I make sure that I ask you questions so that you get to type a little, right? So that's part of moving. It allows you to share a little bit or speak a little. So you might be someone who likes to engage. I try not to say a lot, speak of long sentences, and that's why I ask you if you understand this type, that is. I try to mix it up a little bit. So teaching students is the same way as well. Ensure you have a good visual. Make sure that you have good breaks in between, or you have activities such as personal reflections, small group discussion, a changing of peers for another discussion, case study, role play. You should throw in various of methods to keep that engagement high. If you guys are really interested on that, let the organizing team know. I actually run a whole day workshop on this. I can actually share with you what I do, and I don't mind sharing this with you. Okay, because first I think I can learn while I share as well. But Ani, let me know if I give you some insights. Okay. Great. Let me see if I cater everyone already. I think that should be it. Okay. Final one is from Elias. Okay. I don't want you to feel left out because you have the final questions and nobody answered it. So Elias, what are the common mistakes that speakers make that can cause an audience to disengage? If you ask Google, they give you a lot. If you ask ChatGPT, they'll give you a lot as well. But I'll list what I think personally. My common mistake. Okay, I'll talk about my mistake. The first mistake that I've made, and sometimes I'm still guilty of it, is I focus too much on myself as a speaker, which means that I spoke majority of the time. If it were to be in-person session, my go-to is I would like to have a ratio of, if it's a training sessions, like a 70-20. 70-30, 30% I'm speaking or 20% I'm speaking, and 70 to 80% of the time, my participants are talking and they're learning and they're sharing. A lot of time, they are doing the talking. But if I'm a speaker, I probably would have about 20-30% of the time, them doing some activities, moving around or having some discussion, because it can't be just all about me. So number one, common mistakes that I've made is, putting too much spotlight on myself. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is, as a speaker, the reluctance to improve. A lot of speakers, I realized that they stop improving when they reach a certain level. And that's why they plateau and they don't grow anymore. Because of some results they may have, they choose to believe that they are already at a very high level, but there's always room for improvement. So when you're reluctant to do some inward reflection and ask for feedback, I think that's a sign of arrogance already. And that ego needs to be brushed down a little bit. And that is for me as well. So I have a team who is very nice. Every sessions, whether it is training, speaking, engagement, we always do a post-mortem and they will give me very blunt feedback of how I do. Okay, so number one, it's all about you. Number two is the reluctance to improve. Number three is that you actually do not put your audience interest before your own interest. What do I mean by that? Today, the session is about trying to help everyone to be better in engaging the audience. So the interest of the audience that they spend time is wanting to learn on this specific topic. And I decide to put in a little bit more things. I want to tell you a little bit more about humor, doing a little bit more of audience analysis. Are these good? These are good. Are these educational information? It is. But is it of interest to the audience today? It may not be. So if I fail to do that, I fail to address the key learning for today, then I may have put my own interest over the audience interest. So Elias, again, like I said, this is not everyone's mistake. This is something that I've learned over the years, and I'm definitely guilty of that. I'm not saying that I've overcome everything, because it's always a continuous learning journey, right? So for every one of you who are in today's session, if I can leave you with one words of encouragement, it would be, we all want to be a better communicator, but nothing comes without practice. Okay, the effort needs to be there. You can choose to work on it by yourself, or you can choose to work on it with a group of people. And with a group of people, it has to be with the right group of people who share the same interests of self-improvement and self-development. If anything, I hope you are able to acknowledge that within this Toastmasters group, the environment are supportive and the people are the right kind of people who appreciate self-development as well. And what I've shared with you is also one of the roles that we learn in Toastmasters meeting, which is part of the R counter. Hence, if anything, I hope next time, maybe we'll be able to exchange more ideas, or I'll be able to cross path with you again, not just only as guests or Toastmasters, but we call ourselves fellow Toastmasters, because you're willing to give yourself some chance to come in here and see how this platform can actually help you. So with that, thank you very much, everyone. You all have been an awesome audience. And I would like to thank you for your patience, for giving me extra 10 minutes for going overtime on that. And thank you for the invitations again. And I would like to end my sessions and hand the control back over to our Tom. Thank you.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, with a very soothing and smooth voice, I would say, let us give a round of applause to our speaker, Alan Ang, a distinguished Toastmasters, and I would call it as a dangerous talking machine. Whatever he say, whenever he say it, behind the screen, I was lowering myself down because I'm sitting down taking notes, okay? Not only on a piece of paper, on a piece of a more advanced iPad. So with that being said, my friend, for those who want to reach Alan Ang personally, perhaps Alan Ang would like to share how to connect with you more, maybe through Instagram, social media, or maybe WhatsApp, emails, perhaps, because this is one part that we are trying to appreciate you more, and maybe you can get your future client here as well. And with that, my fellow friends, we will not leave Alan Ang just like that. Finish already, right? And we will not stop there. We will also appreciate him by having a virtual certificate, and maybe if Anna Meliana have a budget for it, a physical certificate or physical plaque to be given to Alan Ang. And with that, let me invite our Sergeant Arm, distinguished Toastmaster Alan Ang, and our Division B Director Anna Meliana to present the certificate of appreciation to our speaker today. Sergeant Arm, the stage is yours. And Alan and Anna, you may want to spotlight both of you and our speaker for today to take the photo opportunity.
So I will need Patrick, if you can help to take a picture.
Sure. Okay. Oh, can someone spotlight Alan? Because in my screen it's Anna.
I already did.
Oh.
Both of them are spotlight.
Okay. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay. Can have 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, done.
Thank you. And thank you so much, DTM Alan, for sharing such a beautiful and inspiring session with us. Please stay if you would like to. And I will return the control back to our Tom Kayum.
Thank you very much, Anna Meliana. All right. Maybe you want to unspotlight both of you first. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been seeing in the chat box, people say like, is there anything given to the questionee? People who asking the question, yes, of course we do. Of course we do. We're also not going to laugh you out with, empty-handed. Now, I heard that people say like, Kayum, I want to win that prize. How can I win it? Well, simple, as by asking question. And now, Ana Meliana doesn't want to make the burden on herself. He asked me to pick the best out of the best question for today. And ladies and gentlemen, if you stay a little bit longer enough until the end of our session, I will private chat you to chat our division director personally to receive that token of appreciation later on. Means that you are the best out of the best. With that, ladies and gentlemen, a Toastmasters meeting consists of 3 or 4, I would say, parts. First one is the educational side, where we have a keynote speeches. Some of the club may have a keynote speeches given by a professional speakers inside or outside of Toastmasters. We can talk about, talking about the ums, talking about your professional, talking about TED Talks perhaps, or anything that you are expert in your field. It doesn't matter if you are a teacher or a marketer, a financial planner, or maybe just a regular person. A Toastmasters is for everyone. And hence, the educational session is a one key to elevate ourselves to a better future. With that, let us give a clap on our shoulder for attending today's session, my friends. Moving on, the second sessions that we all usually have in Toastmasters and a requirement to do is a prepared speech session. We in Toastmasters meeting have a sessions probably with 2 speakers, 4 speakers, or sometimes we do it as a marathon until 10 speakers of an icebreaker speeches. And with that being said, my fellow Toastmasters, we provide you with a little bit glance of our speaker for today. Moving on to our prepared speech session, we have conduct or call upon one engaging speakers that known as Ranto Haposan Kulto. He come from Universitas Indonesia Toastmasters Club. And who is him? Why he is chosen here today? Outside of the Toastmasters, he is known as the product manager of building division with one of the construction company in Indonesia. He supports some of the event in the company, and one of them is to become a moderator of workshop of design and build on the 6th of April recently. Now, inside of Toastmasters, he joined Toastmasters since July 2022, and it's still fresh. Not only that, he is the current president of the Universitas Indonesia for the term July 2022 to June 2023. And this is the best part of it. He won and will be representing Division B for the International Speech Contest. And that's mean he is the winner of Division B International Speech Contest. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your winner for this term and will represent the Division B to the higher level in the conference in Bali for 19 to 22 of May. And also that he is the third place winner for the table topic as well in the Division B speech contest. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, without delaying the time, let me welcome our speaker for today, Ranto Haposan Gultom. Are you ready to unfold your new page in your life? Are you ready to unfold your new page in your life? Ranto Haposan Gultom.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Have you ever wondered how many pages that you ever wrote in your life? You can help me to answer these questions by typing in the chat box. Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters and all guests, I've already wrote many pages in the diary of my life. I will share to you some pages that already changed my life. My journey starts since 10 months ago, since I joined Toastmasters in July 2022. There's a lot of things that I get from Toastmasters. I will share to you 3 benefits of joining Toastmasters. Number 1, public speaking skills. In Toastmasters, I learned a lot about public speaking skills, such as how to write a speech, how to deliver a speech in the front of the audience, how to engage the audience, and how to moderate a panel discussions. This is very useful in my life. The second thing that I want to share about leadership skills. 2 weeks after I joined Toastmasters, my past club presidents asked me, "Hello, Renzo, did you want to be club president?" Club presidents? I was shocked. I didn't know anything about club presidents because I just 2 weeks joined Toastmasters. But after she explained me very clear, I answered to her, "All right, madam, I would like to be the club president of the Universitas Indonesia Toastmasters Club." A lot of things that I learned in leadership skills, such as how to manage the EXCO team, how to arrange the meeting, how to invite the all role takers to join our meeting. That's very challenging. The third benefit that I want to share to you is networking. Now, I have already have more than 30 new friends since I joined Toastmasters within these 10 months. And also, my friends in my office always call me, "Hello, Renzo, Toastmasters guys, how are you?" Because I always invite them to join the meeting every week in our meeting. Fellow Toastmasters and all girls. Beside the 3 benefits of joining Toastmasters, there's another story about difficulties and problems during these Toastmaster sessions, such as how to managing time, about my workplace and the Toastmaster meeting, how to invite role takers, and also one role takers cancel her participations 1 hour before the meeting. "Hello, Toastmaster Renzo. How are you?" "I'm great. Thank you, Toastmasters." "So sorry, Toastmaster Renzo. I have something to do urgent in this morning, so I can help you to be role taker in this meeting. Is that okay for you, Toastmaster Renzo?" "Yes, that's fine. Thank you for your information." Can you imagine how to arrange the meeting and role takers 1 hour before the meeting? For me, I will not make it as difficulties and problems. If I find some difficulties, I will write it as a challenge. If I find some problems, I will write it as an opportunity, because it depends on me to look what is difficulties and the problem. And it depends on me revamping all those things into the challenge and the opportunities. Fellow Toastmasters and all girls, now I finished the first pathways presentation mastery. I'm continuing doing the second pathways leadership development. For me, it's the new beginning in my life. It's the new journey of my life. And I will unfold it confidently, because I believe there are many beautiful stories that will fulfill in my life to make me stronger. Fellow Toastmasters and all girls, every moment is a fresh beginning. Every new day is a new blank page in the diary of your life. The last page is already closed. The new page is newly open. The journey has just begun. If you want to improve your public speaking skills, this is your time. If you want to speak with confidence and engage the audience, this is your opportunity. If you want to develop your leadership skill into the brighter future, it is the right place for you to start. Because no one can move into the past and change our beginning. But you and me can change the future by standing in the presence, by changing our mind and doing some positive actions into a brand new ending. Are you ready to unfold new pages in your life? Thank you. Back to you, Toastmasters of the meeting.
Give a round of applause, my friends, to our prepared speech speaker, Ranto Haposan Gultom. What a very amazing speech that we listened today from our winner. And now I can see why he represents Division B to Bali for the term 2022-2023. Let's give him mini love, guys. Give mini love, maybe a virtual love, to support him. Give him the encouragement because he said, Kayum, I cannot go to Bali because I'm scared. It's first time for me. And I say it's always going to be first time for everybody. There will always be a first time for everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, or maybe that you can see that Kayum is speaking, but Ranto is being spotlighted. I don't know, maybe the Zoom master would like to change that perspective by having Kayum spotlighted and Kayum is speaking. All right, here I am, back again. You can see the luxurious Kayum changing his outfit between times and the minutes. We will move to the third section, or I would say the third because we have 4 sections for today, which we call it as table topics. Table topics mostly happens in our life, whether we want it, whether we know it or not. Now, to explain more about what is table topic master, I would like to welcome the person itself who are in charge of the session. Let me welcome, ladies and gentlemen, table topic master, Ana Meliana. Over to you.
Yay, thank you, Master Tom, Toastmasters Abdul Qayyum, all my beloved fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters and guests. I hope you are still here. Stay with me because we are going soon to experience this thrilling session called Table Topics. What is Table Topics actually? So Table Topics is a mini speech. So later, I will give you either topics or question, just a short one, and your job is to give me a response in a form of mini speech. Mini speech, that means you try your best in 1 until 2 minutes. Please do not less than 1 minute and not more than 2 minutes. It should be 1 until 2 minutes. This is the game. And try your best to have the opening, body, and conclusion as a good structure of a speech within that short of time. Is that possible? Try our best. And one tip for me, you can use prep methods. There are a lot of methods in table topics actually, but for me, the simple one is prep. What is prep? So after I give you either topic or question, you respond with your point as the opening, your point, and then you explain the reason why you say your point, and then you can share me your examples or your personal experience or someone else's experience, for example, and then conclude it with your point. It is prep. Then I will call one fellow Toastmasters to give you an example, and after that, I will choose 4 guests for you to try these table topics. So guests, if you are curious and feel challenged up to this table topic, you can chat your name in the chat box for guests. And for the example, can I have Toastmaster E.T.? Toastmaster E.T., please give the example for our fellow guests. Let me, wait. So we have this beautiful scenery with the rainbow, the birds, the house, the trees, and also the road. Which one do you want to try?
Oh, Anna, I love Toastmasters, so I love pathways. So I choose 5.
5, okay. So
Point of order, Madam President,
Yes?
Acting President, and Table Topic Master. I just want to reconfirm because we have a Table Topic Evaluator. I think we should introduce his role first, and then we should, and then we see how we can actually do this. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So I need to explain. We have table topic evaluator as well today. So you are not just practicing your speech, your mini speech, but there will also Toastmaster Alvin to evaluate you. Toastmaster Alvin will evaluate after each speech. Is that okay for you, Toastmaster Alvin?
Okay.
Okay, so here's the example. With the road. Thank you, DTM Johan, to remind me. Toastmaster E.T., the best traveling you ever had. 1 until 2 minutes.
Best traveling you ever had. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, do you know in 2019, we had so-called pandemic. This pandemic hits people harder than ever in their life. But some of the people also get accelerated in their career, in their business, so fast that they have never ever got it before. So yes, during this, I joined a community. Do you know what is the name of the community? Well, this is the community that we are belong now. Toastmasters International. So this is the best traveling that I have ever had because I came into the Toastmasters meeting for several months. I came to every single Empire Toastmasters offline meetings, but I have never tried to join one because I think that I don't need this kind of Toastmasters. But once I know that there is another value in Toastmasters, the family, the bond that we have with our friends here in Toastmasters, that's how I can get, oh, here it is, the reason to join Toastmasters. When people want to learn about public speaking, leadership, and so on, I want to connect and network to become a better networker. And yes, I travel along like 100 countries, more than 5,000 clubs all around the world in Toastmasters. I joined, I think, around 12 clubs at least, and around 20 clubs at max every single day. And I have the consecutive records for at least 1 Toastmasters meeting every single day in 2 years. But yes, recently I got so busy in my work and my business, so I cannot have this travel alone. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you have ever want to have a journey, join Toastmasters and you will enjoy the travel all around the world. Back to you, Anna. Thank you.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you, Elios. And then I would like to ask if there are any guests who would like to try our table topic. Please raise your hand or put your name in the chat box, or I will just call your name. Count once, Count twice. And count thrice. Then, can I have guest Mas Agus Malvinus? Are you there? Guest Mas Agus Malvinus?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you are the lucky one. So I would like to challenge you to respond to my topic, will you?
Okay, sure.
Okay, sure. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one do you want to try?
I love the number 3.
Number 3, the house. Let's see what is in it for you. Home, where the heart is. Home is where the heart is. So what will you respond, Mas Agus?
Yes.
1 until 2 minutes, please.
Thank you, Press Anna, and thanks for R. And this very good, nice topic for the home is for the what? Sorry, again. Can I have?
Home is where the heart is.
Home is where the heart is. Home and house is not the same. Like when our home, we have a family, we have a brother, sister, and like a doctor maybe. So means there is no issue about the how big or how small the home. But the most important is the home is full of the cheerful happiness and then more valuable. So we can chit chat together, enjoy together, and grow our dream together. So even though you have a small home, so it will not be a house. Means the home and house is very distinguished the word. But the most important thing is the purpose, how to be happy. Yes, I think that's what our heart is in house or the home. Thank you, Pres Anna.
Thank you so much, Mas Agus Malvinus, for your great response. Oops, I'm sorry, I forgot the evaluator for ET. So, Alvin, if you don't mind, would you do 2 evaluations at once? And after this, we will continue to our next speaker. I will give the control to our table topic evaluator, Alvin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anna. So the first table topic speaker is Toastmaster Elios. He is very energetic, as you can see from his vocal variety. That is what I like the most. Whereas his vocal variety make the speech is very colorful. Whereas he varied the vocal from low and then higher and then low again. And also I can see the body language of Toastmaster Elios doing the fist or vary his hands. That is also interesting. And also he smiles a lot throughout the speech. It indicates that he enjoys and he is very confident. And what needs to improve from Toastmaster Elios? I believe the topic is the best traveling you ever had. Only in the first half of the speech, I didn't catch what is the best traveling that Elios had. Whereas I hear that you joined Toastmasters because of the pandemic. And at the second half of the speech, that's when I catch that, oh, this is what is the traveling that you mean, which is traveling throughout the many clubs in Toastmaster. Then I get it. So Toastmaster Elios, really great and colorful vocal variety. I like it so much. And also strong and firm body language with smile a lot in showing that you are very confident and need to put your answer first in the beginning on your speech so we can follow the rest of the speech with more, with easier. So that's my feedback for Toastmaster Elios. Congratulations. And then next for Toastmaster Mas Agus from Ultimate, home is where the heart is. I like that Toastmaster Mas Agus have the structure. I saw that he implemented the prep, the point. He started with the point that he somehow disagreed that home is different with her. And then he also explained what is home. And then he also explained what is heart. And then at the end of the speech, he declared again the point that he just delivered. Very good, Toastmaster Masagus. And my suggestion to you is, I believe the camera position is too close to your body, so I didn't see your hand. I only see your face. So what if you can put the camera further from your body, so you can juggling, you can do a dance, and you can share us what heart. This is the heart symbols. So the speech can be more interesting. And in terms of the prep, I think you do explain what is point, the reason. I only miss what is the example of your points. Thank you. That is the feedback to Toastmaster Masagus. Implemented the prep, only missing the E, and need to put the camera further from the body so you can dance better. Thank you. Back to you, Topic Master.
Thank you, TTE Alvin. And I believe all of us also learn from that evaluation for the next speech. So next, I will invite guest Christina. Are you there, Christine Budiharjo? Christine, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey! So I would like to invite you to try our next topic, will you?
Okay.
Okay, let's try. We have the rainbow, the bird, and the tree. So which one would you like to try?
The tree.
The tree, okay. And your topic is the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. And the second best time is now. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. 1 until 2 minutes. Let's try. Christina.
Planting a tree is very important for the earth. It can I'm sorry, I confused.
No worries.
In my city, there is a lot of it's for the to so that the pollution is well managed and people can walk in the street in more I'm sorry, I don't have any idea.
It's okay. Thank you, Christine, for your courage to try. And we can catch some words that what you mean with your speech. And I will over the evaluation session to Alvin. Maybe you can add something in the speech of Christine. Over to you, Alvin.
Wow, Christine, thank you so much for your courage to step up on the table topic stage. That is not easy. I believe this may be your early time, but no worries. There is always time to learn. We can learn every time, even though the senior performer always have something to learn. What I like from your speech is you have the point that I hear you said it is important to plant the tree. Wow, that is the first of the prep, the points. And then after that, you also explain the reason why it is important to plant a tree, which I hear you said to eradicate the pollution, and also people can walk more with more freedom. That is very wonderful. I think you only missed the another example, maybe your personal story when you experience walking on the street with less pollution. And then at the end of the speech, you can reiterate again your point that planting a tree is important, that to now is the second best time. And my suggestion to Christine, I believe that you try your best to find your next line. My suggestion is it is okay to take about 3 seconds to think before you answer the topic. You can construct your prep on your mental mind first, and then you can deliver. As well as in our daily life, if someone asks you, where did you spend your weekend? You can spend 30 seconds to think and then share with your friends. You don't need to answer immediately. You have time, so you can reduce the unnecessary blank time. And of course, I can't wait to your next topic stage. Just over and over, you will always learn. Back to you, topic master.
Great, thank you. See, our guest also delivered the beautiful ideas about the trees, right? And then we also have guest Donnie who would like to try. Donnie, which one do you like to choose? I forget to delete the 4. Is it the rainbow or the bird?
The bird, please.
The bird. And the question for you is, do you love singing? Okay, 1 until 2 minutes. Donnie, please.
Okay, I didn't expect that was the question. So, do I love singing? Yeah. I think as I don't know, I don't have a good or an artist sort of like song or singing and then the tempo, and then I don't have any of those. Even when I speak, everybody just don't like me to speak. So I think I don't have any experience in singing. And then if I have a question on, do you love to sing? I don't want to be a spotlight. I can be on the spotlight. So how do I like to sing? Even when I talk, I cannot talk very eloquently. So this is my first barrier to me, and I try to break this my handicap, so then I can better speak eloquently, and then I try to I think I will try to go to the, I don't know, to the concert where I can speak, where I can sing louder, and then I just want to be a better person at not to sing, but at what do we call it? At speech, maybe. That's my first impression when I answer that question. Thank you.
Wow, congratulations. You know, long journeys start with the first step, and you did your first step. I so much believe in you that you can go further. Up to challenge is a very good way to improve yourself and shoot for the stars. Thank you, Doni. And then for the last one, oh, before the last one, Alvin, don't let me forget you anymore. Please, Alvin.
Okay, thank you for sharing, Pak Doni. I like it so much when you share the personal story. The people even didn't like hearing you're speaking. That is a great personal story. I was loving, and also the choice of words you use eloquently. That is not usual words, and I like it. It means that you have a library of vocabulary that's unusual. That shows us that you are quite aware of vocabulary. And two things I would like to suggest is, the first is, I didn't hear the direct answer of the speech, the double topic, whereas the question is, do you love singing? And then I hear you start with, I don't have any expertise at singing, etc. And so on and so forth. And what I expect is you can immediately respond with, I don't like singing, I don't love singing, because after that we can follow the rest of the story. Because until at the first half of the speech, I kept questioning, do you love singing or not? Yeah, sometimes you don't like your voice, but maybe not about others. Others can love your voice even though you don't like it, right? And also the second is about the position of camera. What if you can push the camera further? So if you want to display your singing, you can do this. I'm singing on the bathroom. So the magic of body language is we can understand your message faster from your gesture, right? So once again, thank you so much for sharing your personal story, Pak Doni, and your choice of words is very good. And my suggestion is to put your answer quicker in the first minutes, and then follow with the reason and etc. And to push the camera further so we can see your hand gesture. Thank you. Back to you, Topic Master.
Great, our TTE with a fast thinking and analysis. And we have our last table topic speaker, Gaswina. Please come forward, Gaswina. I would like to see you. Hi, Gaswina.
Hi. I'm
Ah,
sorry. I'm sorry,
yeah,
my
yeah,
internet
yeah.
connection is unstable, so I cannot on the camera.
Okay, sure. I just make sure that you are there and ready, and you cannot choose because we only have one last topic. Hope you don't mind. And the topic is, there would be no rainbows without sunshine and rain. You can give me any response about this. There would be no rainbows without sunshine and rain. 1 until 2 minutes. Guess, Wina. The screen is yours.
Okay, I'm not very familiar with this topic, but I'm trying. As we know, when we can see the rainbow is after rain. So like our life, when we doing something, we feeling something bad in our life, and after that we can see the future like shiny and the rainbow. Like every time we walk along our life, like a rain, quite like a rain, because sometimes we hide our fear, our sadness, like in rain. So when in rain we can hide it, so the people cannot see it. And after that, with every walk hard, we can see the rainbow, like a beauty rainbow in sky. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Wina. What a beautiful response, as I expected. You did very great. And now I will give the rest evaluation to our TTE. Alvin, please.
Yeah, you are the winner. Thank you for sharing, Wina. I like it when hearing you say like life. After hearing the topic, there is no rainbow after rain. You immediately make an analogy like life. After bad things happen, there will be a signing after that. That's wonderful. Using analogy make us understand the speech better, like just what Wina did. And also after that, she explained the bad and the signing after in really life and make us more understand about her points. Very excellent, Wina. And what I miss, my suggestion only is to put your personal story when you have the bad days, and after that, wow, this is the rainbow after the raining. So Wina, and you did a very good job by using analogy in interpreting the topic, only missing the explanation of the example, or you can bring your personal story, whereas can match with the rainbow before the rainbow after the rain. So it can be a stronger and well-structured speech. Congratulations, you are the winner. Back to you, Toastmaster Anna.
Thank you so much, our TTE, Alvin Abrar. And give a round of applause for our Tamil topic speakers, also our TTE. And I would like to hear the time report from our timer, Rani.
Yes, thank you, our Madam TTM. So I have posted the time details on the chat box. Everyone deliver their speech within the time limit. For the table topic speakers, Toastmaster Ilios have 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Toastmaster Masagus 1 minute and 20 seconds. Christine 2 minutes. Doni 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And our last speaker Wina have 1 minute and 6 seconds to deliver their impromptu speech. I think that's all. Back to you, Madam Titian.
Thank you, Madam Timer. And congrats again, all speakers. You have a wonderful time management to deliver your speech within the time range. How about we now call our ballot counter and cast our vote for the most table topic speakers for today? I would like to call Gusti.
Yes,
Gusti,
yeah, sorry. Alright, so everyone, I'm going to give you the link. Just give a moment to you can so vote for the best topic. Okay, wait.
So maybe every one of us here have one name in our mind that you think is your most favorite table topic speaker for today, and we will cast for vote because there will be also a prize for our best table topic speaker for today. And while we are waiting for the vote link and the polls to be taken, how about we continue with our photo group session? So every one of you who are still here and can turn on your camera, I would like to invite you to have our photo group session. So ET, if you want to turn on your camera, PTM Karen, Mas Agus and Ranto, Patrick, Gatot, Wina, I know you cannot do that. It's okay. If you can, for just some minutes, I would like to have you open your camera, and also Muhammad Asri, if you can, only if you can, and guest Christine, and everyone. Donna, can you open your cam? Yeah, I can see all of you. Ah, Wina, here you are. I like your smile. And Muhammad, and also Christine, and Donna, and Iti. And let's go, Patrick, with the picture.
Be prepared, everyone. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more time. We have a few pages here. Okay. Okay, second page in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Can we take another one? Okay.
Yeah, sure. Another pose, please.
Yeah,
With
another
love,
pose.
maybe with love. Any kind
Okay.
of love you want to share.
First page, yeah. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we go to the second page for the second pose. All right, everyone, please be ready. Second page in 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Patrick. And Gusti, do we have the link? Oh, Gusti is kicked out. Okay, while we are waiting for our ballot counter, let's go continue with our evaluation session, the heart of our meeting session today. So over to you, GE DTM Johan.
Thank you very much, Madam Topic Master. I just want to reconfirm because the agenda, we're supposed to end at 3. So I'd like to ask for a privilege vote. Can I have the meeting end at 3:30? Is that okay? Can I have a proposal, please?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much, acting presiding officer. Can I have a seconder? Somebody just raise the hand really quickly. There you go. We got a seconder. Thank you very much, visiting Toastmasters. And then, is there any objections?
I don't have any objection for that.
Okay, no objection at all. So I'd like to invite back the Toastmaster the meeting. Toastmaster the meeting is not here. What is he? Is he out? Come on, turn on your camera. I know he's still there. Because I like to break the ice, because I remember Alvin was saying, you know, you have to tell a joke sometime and you have to practice, right? So I just want to get everybody in the mood again. So we're out of the topic sessions. No more stress. This is all about evaluation. But I like to ask the Toastmaster meeting, hey, Kwayum, can I ask you questions? Do you know what's the difference between a toaster, a toaster, the one that makes bread, and a phone? Do you know what's the difference?
No, I don't.
You don't? If you don't know, you're gonna burn your side face, because you're gonna put the toaster in your face too many times. No? Okay. Terrible joke. Bad dad joke. Okay. Not motivating. Toastmaster is all about motivations. Okay. Hey, how about this, Kwayum? What's the difference between you and I?
Oh, wow. Because there is you in me.
Because without you, I would not have a brilliant day. So that's the difference between you and I, Mr. Toastmaster meeting. So fellow Toastmasters and gentlemen, this is the final session, which is the evaluation session. So thank you very much, Kwayum, for participating in my dad jokes. So we would start with usually to evaluate the prepared speech first. So we have only one prepared speech with one individual evaluator. We have none other than Surabaya. She's all the way from Surabaya and also in Indonesia, because this is the type of language that we practice. Yeah, there's many types of English. There's Australian English, there's British English, American English, and then there's Surabaya English. So fellow Toastmasters, I like to set your mindset to prepare for our first and only evaluator who will evaluate our prepared speaker, Toastmaster Ranto. So with the evaluation for level 1, project 2, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, I'd like to welcome you, Toastmaster Titin Ningsi. The floor is yours.
Thank you, DTM Johan. Toastmaster Ranto, I'm trying to be more positive like you and look at each day as a new page in my life. However, let's be real. Some days feel like I'm reading the same page over and over again. Then I realize, oh, I need a good community to help me improve myself, such as Toastmaster, like what we are doing right now. Toastmaster Ranto, your speech is enjoyable, just like we are taking an eye-opening opportunity by having a quality vacation to Tangkuban Perahu, for example. There are 3 things that make my trip so enjoyable. First one, you started your speech with a thought-provoking question and another thought-provoking question at the end of your speech. A question to start your speech and another question to end it. It was very thoughtful of you. Second, you had a strong message in your speech. Benefits of joining Toastmasters, public speaking, leadership, networking. You also shared your problems, reframe it into opportunities. Third one, you utilize very good body language, facial expression, vocal variety with the relatable dialogue in standing position, and a prop, that is a book whose pages you open to illustrate the message that is a new start to join Toastmasters. And fellow Toastmasters, what do we do when we are having a vacation? Taking pictures, don't you think so? Which is translated into my 3 humble suggestions to you. First one, I would appreciate very much if you repeat your message 2 or 3 times to make sure the audience get your message. Second, in my opinion, your speech will even be more wonderful if you apply more pauses. And the third one, I think your audience will remember your message better if you help them to memorize, such as providing them public speaking. The benefits of joining Toastmaster PS, public speaking, L, leadership, and networking. So congratulations, Toastmaster Ranto, for completing your project. Keep presenting quality speeches. We need them very much, just as we need a quality community to help us improve ourselves and unfold the new pages in our lives, just like joining Toastmaster International. Back to you, DTM Johan.
Thank you so much, Titin. See, I told you, I love her accent. She have that mix. But you are so prepared. I love it how she got like all the props and everything. And do not worry about the timer. I think the timer got the wrong timing. She got it on red for table topics. So you're still on time. It's 2 to 3 minutes for individual evaluation. A bit longer than a table topic session. So thank you very much, Titin. So that's the end. Timer, you got the time on? Okay, so we're okay. So there's only one evaluator, so she's qualified and she does not need to be voted. We will go on straight to my evaluation themes because I'm rushing and saying it really, really fast. Hopefully your brain can connect to what I'm talking about because I'm trying to finish the meeting right on time, exactly at 3:30. Anyway, I digress. we will start with my first evaluator team. My first evaluator team is the grammarian. Our grammarian is all the way from Jakarta. So fellow Toastmasters, please welcome back Toastmaster Fajar.
All right, so thank you very much, GE. Because of the time, I think I will just pick out some of the part of the grammar report that I noticed. First, there are someone that mentioned beside 3 benefit, I got the message, but it's better to use beside those 3 benefits. All right, don't forget those. And then community that we are belong. Well, it's almost correct, like 90% correct, but we should add community that we are belong to. And then for the pronunciation, someone I think mispronounced this word. Anyone do anyone knows what is the pronunciation? It is engage, right? Engage. And then someone mentioned this sentence, the verb 3, it should be I have posted. So the D should be there. It should not be omitted. And then there are some good quotes. If you tell a joke, but people don't laugh, you have to act as if it was not meant to be a joke. And we all want to be a good communicator, but nothing comes without practice. I think that's all. Back to you, GE.
Thank you so much, Mr. Grammarian. So I'm running out of time again. I need a second privilege proposer. Can I extend the meeting till 3:40? Is that okay? Can somebody raise their hand for pros for 3:40?
Yes, because it is almost 3:30.
Okay. Thank you so much. Can I have a seconder, please? Okay, quiet. Thank you very much for a seconder. Is there any objections? There's no objection, so as a privilege, we will continue on till 3:40. We will try to make it on time because in Toastmasters, we try to appreciate everybody's time. We always start and begin on time and end on time. So thank you very much again, our grammarian, fellow Toastmasters. We will continue on to our next team leader, which is the and the word of the day count. So many So I'd like to welcome back all the way from, I do not know where this person is from. I think it's from Jakarta. So fellow Toastmasters, please welcome back Toastmaster Pikui Siami.
All right. Thank you, Sir GE. So I have to, this is my report. I hope you can see my screen. For all the role takers, did a great job. I didn't mention any pillar word and also the repetition word. That's really great. And for the prepared speech, also didn't catch any unnecessary word and filler word. Toastmaster Anto and Toastmaster Titin, and congratulations. And for the table topic, there is some point that we can improve in the future. For Toastmaster Agus, you say that for Toastmaster Christy and 5 Toastmaster Doni 5 and Toastmaster Bina 3 From this report, I hope that all of you who already maybe mentioned this pillar word can improve in the future. So this is become your notes in the future. So you want to try to reducing this in the future of your speech. So I hope you can keep in the Toastmaster meeting and keep joining us in here so we can improve and we can become like our role takers today, which I didn't mention any filler words. So that's all my report. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Fikui. I did not notice you because you're all electric and fancy, and most of us, we're in this world where we have terminology and things, because like the title VTM, actually we'd have that VTM title initially from my club, Jakarta Toastmaster Club. Now it's very funny. Should we call them virtual Toastmaster or visiting Toastmasters? Because there are many formats. So thank you so much again, Fikui, for your report. So, fellow Toastmasters, this is my report for the whole meeting. A general evaluator will evaluate anything and everything. But objectively, you see, as an evaluator, I'm supposed to be using my listening skill, critical thinking, and also just giving some idea of how I feel. Now, you have to think in 2 ways. You see, we have to have of fun sessions. Every Toastmasters have to have a fun session, because if it's not fun, why are we here? 2, we have to learn something, right? If there's no learning in one meeting, what's the point? What's the objective, right? And last is for you to actually continuously practice and practice. That's this only platform for you to actually do it, because even when you're studying or when you're paying other people, other organizations, there are no platform to practice. And this is where you want to come to Toastmasters meeting itself. So initially, I like to comment as to there are many type of Toastmasters. The legend, this is the legends. They are originally Toastmasters is from the West Coast, which is California. And then you get the East Coast. So the format is different. And there are many type of formats. You could make it any way you want, and you could make it fun or in any form you want. Here's one format. One format is basically the term Toastmasters or the MC will run the whole meeting. So like me, I would not run the final sessions. Toastmasters would invite everybody. That's what they do in the East Coast, which is New York, Chicago, or Singapore, or Malaysia. They even call it differently. If you look at the Quayum title is Tom. If he's Tom, I'm Jerry. But you know, it's different format, because if you look at the manual, it's only Toastmaster. So that's why if you go to East Coast, they would call it TMD or TME, yeah, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster of the evening. And then I saw somebody put TOE, toe. So if you're toe, I'm feet then. No, I'm just kidding. Toe, I'm fingers. Anyway, I digress. So the point is this, the format as to what I want to share, you have to have different kind of formats. First, there are things called theme. Every meeting have a theme. You always wonder, what's the point of this thing called theme? I don't know, because the guests are mostly Indonesian here. If you've been to any event, convention, or even meetings, why do they have themes? No logic, right? Why would have, what do you call it, a bunch of lawyers meeting up and they have a theme and conventions? Well, objectively, there's 2 purposes. Now, first is basically to make the team in control, not the team, the meeting in control. So you would have a team. Some part of us might have it as a speech. Technically, no, is to actually set the mood of the meeting itself. Because in 2 parts, Toastmasters run in a parliamentary procedure. That means we always run it in a structured way. We don't just learn practice in speaking. We don't just learn practice in leaderships. It's all about the system itself. One, the meeting have to be, anybody know? In the beginning, what happened after the SAA comes out? I like to test all the senior Toastmasters in this room to look at the rules. The rules is the meeting, no matter it is wherever it is in district level, division level, it has to be open. And the opening is to have the meeting called to order. That's why the chairmanship take over the control. What I love today is that chairman or the chairperson, I like to be non-gender biased, took out the control of the time. So Anna, so thank you very much. When we have wonderful educational sessions where the time was actually 45 minutes, it went up just a little bit under an hour. You took control as to, let's have it 2 minutes. So that's the whole idea. So you would have a team, you would have a meeting to order, and you would have control of the session. So that's why you also, as a chairperson, could pass the chairmanship to the Toastmaster of the MC itself. Right? Second part, well, the knock of the gavel. I know in the division you don't have the knock of the gavel. Have you guys seen how many times they knocked on the gavel?
3.
Okay. In Indonesia, you would see that sometime. But we try to change that. You see, the thing is, if you call anything a motion order accepted, so any order is 1 knock. So 1 knock means the meeting's open. You know why they do it sometime more than once? Special order. That means you are thankful you could knock it more than once. But most of the time, it's only 1 knock. I digress. That's just a little useless information that I have in my head. So going back to the meeting itself, basically the setup of the team, there can be varieties because different area, different group of people might have different kind of varieties. So I enjoyed the variety that we had here. It's just be careful of the time and of course, take control of the meeting itself. First, we will start with the table topic sessions. The table topic section is the presiding officer. So she has the control, so she had fun. What I love about her, what I love about this whole meeting, you know, it's very much of the Indonesian meetings. We have meetings before meetings. We have meetings before meetings. So it's very organized. Yeah, it's very Indonesian to have meetings of meetings to the meetings for the meetings itself. So I'm grateful that we are prepared and we are, everybody here knows what they want to do, gotta do, and especially the table topic sessions. She got the slides, my team's also got the slides. The one comment that I would like to suggest, because remember there's formats. Now there's two types of formats. Technically, an individual evaluations or a group evaluations is 2 to 3 minutes, right? Because that was the timing for the contest, right? This is, I know the guest might be going, what's the contest? But anyway, my point is, if you will have a table topic evaluator, because it is not a proper structured, actual proper section or 3 evaluations, my suggestions, you could do it in 2 ways. One, you could do it, put it in my sessions, give it to me. I'll take the table topic evaluator, give it to 3 to 5 minutes, and he will evaluate everybody. So we will control of the time. That's one thing I am suggesting. There are other groups, other people. If you want to do it like, alternatively, because table topic and also evaluation is an impromptu speech. Yeah, you could propose it to anybody. So it's open to anybody. So the challenge is basic to evaluate. That's when you do 1 to 2 minutes. Other than that, I had fun. I think the guests had fun. I know some of it, it's a beginning. It's all those mindsets like, they ask me a question, I need to answer. And then when they answer, it's like, oh, I can't believe I answered that. Oh my gosh. But that's what Toastmasters is all about. You have to make mistakes. You can make mistakes. And that's where you learn to find yourself. By making mistakes. Once you find yourself, that's when you develop your own style, your abilities and capabilities. So thank you very much for our table topic master, our topic masters, and all the participants for the guests who participated. Next would be the prepared speech. Now, I'm not allowed to evaluate the prepared speech because he's already evaluated by an individual evaluator. But other than such a motivating speech, and it's such a nouns is the contest division winner to become a challenger in this open house. So I'm so appreciative and glad that he gave a sample for us to actually see what his actual speaker can be. Doesn't have to be perfect, and he did well. The whole idea is basically to inspire and to motivate people. So he did it well done job. So other than that, I'm supposed to evaluate the individual evaluator. The individual evaluator, like I said, she's well prepared. I love this individual because how many of us do an impromptu speech, got a prop out, look, I got a camera, I got a sign say PS. I thought it was PlayStation, but it's I'm just kidding. Anyway, but overall, as an individual evaluator, she's well knowledgeable. She's she delivered it in a fun way. The one thing that sometimes you forget as evaluators, because maybe it's not taught because in the current system, the pathway systems, try not to touch too much on revising the content. If you revise the content, it's basically those saying, so what you're trying to say, what you mean to say, but those are those things. So just watch out on contents. If you do contents, you go example, but you did fine. Just minimize on the revision of what the person said. Yeah. Overall, I think you did well. You gave examples where you try not to make mistake. I believe your example was the pauses itself, and also that is all the thing that you're supposed to be doing. So overall, a wonderful individual evaluator. Last but not least, other than my team, a wonderful prepared and all technical, and try to I went over time. Okay, can I propose for another 5 minutes? I'm just gonna go on anyway. I'm gonna rush it. Okay, last but not least, our wonderful MC, Toastmaster of the day. He took control of the meeting itself. He prepared. He had challenges. I got the what do you call it? This is what happened in TV. You know, things have changed, and you know you do the WhatsApp things. And what I love about him also, I don't know if you guys notice when he's being playful. I feel like I'm watching Uncle Rogers in YouTube. No. So overall, a wonderful Toastmasters meeting, a wonderful job, a well done job. Everybody in this room are well prepared. And of course, I hope you all had fun. I hope you are excited. I hope you're all motivated. And I do hope you might think about joining Toastmasters for those guests who came to this meeting. And I had a wonderful time, and I'm so thankful to be in this wonderful open house. Thank you so much. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Fantastic evaluation from our Mr. General Evaluator. Give me a moment for me to set up my camera as good angle as it can be. Right. Fellow Toastmasters, my beloved friends from all around Indonesia and Malaysia. From standing up as the MC, now I am sitting down. Because why I would say that evaluations come in a heavy manners. It is a responsible for us, it's a responsibility to us to take note on the evaluation and improve ourselves from the beginning of the time and until into the future. To take note on what our general evaluator has been saying. Yeah, I come from the West Coast and the East Coast. I am the member of the Smedley Chapter 1 as well. What being mentioned by Anna, the first club ever being built in Toastmasters. In here, District 87, people praise me with what I have done. But in Smedley Chapter 1, I have been evaluated 360 with what I have done. So that with that evaluation, I practice it again and again here in our club, our district, even in our division level of meetings. And honestly, I would say I have improved, and I will keep improving to make everyone better in the future. And yes, I would agree with Ilios Theophilus' statement by saying that you can ask me anything about Toastmasters because a lot of latest information, latest news regarding about Toastmasters was come to Smedley Chapter 1, and I will receive it for the first one member in the District 87, and I will gladly share with all of you what has been happening around. And with that, fellow Toastmasters, I like to conclude my session before we go further into the, I would say, closing ceremony with one quote that I learned from a book. Laozi once said that 1,000 or 1,000,000 journey of anything that you have done starts with a single step. And today is the first step for every single one of us to embark the journey to become a member of Toastmasters, to get to know about what is actually Toastmasters. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kayum, previously known as Kayum, and if we met in the future, do call me Kayum, signing off as your Toastmasters of the day for today. And with that, I would like to pass the control to our ballot counter to present the award. With that, Gusti, over to you.
Yay! Thank you, our beloved Tom of Luskayu. Okay, everyone. This is my time to announce the best of the best for each session. So the first one, I like to have a share screen. Okay, for the best prepared speech, yeah, one and only Toastmaster Ranto Hapusan Gulto. Yay. Does anyone would you like to take a picture
I
of him?
will spotlight Ranto and Patrick. Would you like to help me? Where is Ranto?
Yes.
Can you open your cam? Is Ranto here? Or maybe we will go to next one.
Okay.
Oh,
The
Ranto
next
is
one.
here. Ranto,
Oh,
Ranto is here. Okay, open your cam again. I can see him. Ranto. All right. I'll
Okay.
invite Ranto now.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thank you, Ranto.
awesome. Can we move to the next?
Yeah.
And for the evaluator, give round of applause for Toastmaster Titingningsi.
You.
Okay. Please be prepared. In 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thank you, Titin.
All right. Next, for the best table topic, and it goes to Mas Agus. Yay! Congratulations to Mas Agus. Mas Agus. Okay, it's one word there.
Okay. All right. Toastmaster Mas Agus. In 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Mas Agus.
All right, awesome. And we have two best questionnaires here. So the first one goes to Wina. Yay! Wina.
Okay, Wina, would you like to open your cam or you cannot for now?
Wina.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thank you, Wina. Congrats.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And the next for the favorite questions, number 2 is Debbie. Yay!
Okay, Debbie. In 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thank you and congrats, Debbie.
All right, that's all from my side. Back to you, Tom.
Fantastic job, Ballot Counter Gusti, for the engaging sessions. And to all of the winners, you are welcome to claim the prize, or I would say the token of appreciations from our Division Director, Division B Director, Ana Meliana. And I have contacted you all personally. Or yes, you can WhatsApp her in the sense of +62 in the front, yeah? +62, because if you guys go for +60, it will go to Malaysian numbers. All right, with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time for today. As if that we are over time with 30 minutes or 40 minutes already. And with that, let me have our Division B Director to conclude our session here today and to adjourn the meeting at the same time. Division B Director, Ana Meliana, over to you.
Thank you, Master Tom. I will make this very quick because I don't want to steal more of your time. It's almost 1 hour over our plan. Thank you so much for all of you who have helped this event to be cherished, and especially my big thank you for all guests who already invest your time here. For all winners, please text me to talk about the prize. And for you who want to know more about Toastmasters and everything, you may also text me anytime you want. I have put my number in the chat box. Please save it, and I'm welcoming you to come again as guest to our meeting. Again, just text me about the meeting information. If you think that I don't think and I'm not sure about being a member, but you are still welcome to come as a guest anytime you would like to and practice a little bit as a guest. Of course, there will be different portion for you to practice as guests and as members, but you were always welcome. Thank you so much, everyone. And with this, I will call our open house meeting to be adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Bye and have a good day. Appreciate you come.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will end this meeting now, right? I'm sorry we won't have breakout room, but please feel free to text me anytime you want to ask any question.